seen something like me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Walking with Walfinch. Today I've got Kam Gill, who's Managing Director of Walfinch Oxfordshire, which is very exciting. Also, conveniently, she's my sister, older sister. Welcome, Kam, to the show today.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, really good.
Speaking at the care show today.
I know, I'm a bit nervous about it. Not something I've done before, but see how it goes.
First public speaking event in the sector. And,
Yes.
So where are you? What are you speaking about today?
So today is about women in social care, which I'm talking on the WAGS panel.
Great.
So I'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Very cool. And so the panel is about
About women,
transformation.
basically, and how things are changing over time for the women in this care in this sector.
Which is really interesting, isn't it? Because actually that relates very conveniently to your own story, I think, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't start in care at the beginning of the career.
So my background is in dental technology. So I graduated as a dental technician. I got married, had kids, and then I went back into working in dental technology. Tried it for about 4 years, but there was no flexibility. It was getting really difficult with the children. I was missing sports day and school plays and stuff like that. Really those important things. Yeah. And luckily, I have a brother who offered me a really great opportunity.
It wasn't a great opportunity, was it?
It was supposed to be a temporary thing, but he offered me recruitment role, which he was recruiting for, and it had flexibility, worked really well with what I wanted to do. So I took the offer, and I went to something I've never done before in an office-based sort of setting. And I actually really enjoyed it. I was meeting lots of different people from different backgrounds, different experiences. And I'm still in touch with the first ever person I recruited like 10 years ago. Joyce.
No.
Yeah, so she was the first living carer.
Living carer, yeah.
And I'm still in contact with her. She's not really doing care much now.
How nice. That's 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you've kept in touch with her even though she's not.
Yeah. You become friends with them, because obviously they're relying on us. They put all their faith in. I've tried to ensure that I deliver what I offer. Yeah. It's not always possible, but you've got to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
And retention is really important in this sector. So going out of your way, making sure that you're fulfilling it. People have different issues. Issues at home or work or money and stuff. It's a big thing. So it's trying to ensure that you're staying on top of it and remembering nice things, birthdays, family members' birthdays, kids' birthdays.
Yeah, that's great.
If somebody's mum's sick, dad's sick or whatever, going out of your way to sort of, you be there for them.
And it makes people feel like they're being listened to as well.
Exactly,
I suppose, right?
Exactly. And you learn a lot of that in this work. I talk to clients and carers, and you hear their stories and stuff. And a lot of the clients, sometimes we're the only people that go and see them. Yeah. So when you go in, they're really happy that Kam from the office has come. She's come to talk to me, and you tell you, your team is so great. Yeah. They did this, or so and so's a great cook. She cooked me this meal, and they remember those little things, and they're so happy to tell them how important that was.
So that is so interesting, and I want to kind of come back to this retention piece because I know that you do that particularly well. But I was just thinking back to your first ever day. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Was that 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Just over.
Just over
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we're driving, and I picked you up, and we were in one car, I think, and we lived in Buckinghamshire.
And we were doing a role play in the car.
And we were driving to the office, and on the way to the office, turned out there was some sort of major palaver. No one was going to be in the office. I had to leave because I had a thing going on with the council.
And I had my first interview ever with Joyce.
With Joyce. And we were doing role plays on how to answer the phone. You're like, what do I do if someone...
I don't know any of the clients' name. I don't know who was what and who did what role. Never worked in an office before. And I was like, and all you said is, here's the file, I need 5 carers.
Well, and hey, you delivered 5 carers, right? And it's really interesting, I think, but actually, so much of franchising has been about showing people how to do something, how to answer that phone, the basic stuff, making sure that doesn't ring for more than 3 bells.
Letting them speak, because they have so many questions, and a lot of people who call about care, they haven't had any care, don't really know what to expect. So it's about, asking, letting them speak, finding out what they want and what they need, and then sort of, answering those questions. And sometimes things don't work out, it's not what they're looking for, but you've helped them with, that they need to get an occupational therapist in, they need to get the bowel and bladder people in, and, they need to, get a physio in. There's like services like this. We have, mobile hairdressers, mobile podiatrists, all sorts of services that we tell them that it's possible if you had care, all of this stuff, you don't have to worry about, you don't have to book, the carers will manage that. They'll book in and they'll pick up your medication if it's not being delivered. They can organise, district nurse appointments, all of those sort of things that, it takes that pressure off the family. So the family member can actually be a family member, not their carer. So when they go and see their mum and dad, they can go out for a coffee. They can do those children things as they, they're not being a carer. They're not doing the housework because the domestic side of things is also part of caring. There's certain things that they can't do, and they don't want their kids doing it either because they feel bad. My son or daughter's had a busy day, busy week, and now they've come here, they're doing all this, so they feel guilty. So I think taking that sort of pressure off them. And, so they're able to, those days when they go over, take them out for a coffee or do something that's meaningful. And it's nicer for them as well, and it takes the pressure off. And I think that's what care's all about.
Yeah, truly. So if you were speaking to somebody that is just setting up a care business now, and they wanted advice as to how to recruit and retain staff, what would you say to that person?
I'd say, first of all, it's picking the right people. I feel like I'm very good at judging whether something's going to work. Somebody comes into an interview and just looks not interested on their phone and say, how much are you going to pay me? I know that person's not going to fit into our values. The values, that, so that's not really going to work. So I would pick somebody who is asking the right questions, like, asking about the clients, what sort of services we provide, and, that sort of thing. And, just a nice, you can see there's some empathy there and all that. So, and then it's our responsibility to make them feel comfortable. It doesn't matter how much experience somebody has. When they go into a new client's home, it's all brand new. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, trying to find just basic things, what they likes and dislikes, because they could go in, they can be most experienced carer, but they go in and the client is very difficult, not happy. He's got somebody that, he's not used to, and it's a change. So, he's in a bad mood or she's in a bad mood, and, because they're anxious. So I think, so it's giving that person as much support, as much detail in the care plan, and ensuring that they've got that support. They can call us. So if they've gone in and they're not happy or they're not comfortable, they've got that 24-hour. We have that 24-hour on call. We are very good at answering phones and making sure that even the on-call person on weekend has a backup on-call person. From my experience, so I can sleep at night and I can be relaxed. I need to make sure that the on-call person has support, because sometimes stuff happens, and that person who's dealing with it also needs support. And I'm always available. My team, we're all very good like that, and I think that's, if the staff think they've got support, they're going to be happy. They know that they can come to us if there's an issue, or if they're not sure about something, because sometimes there might be a scenario that nobody's ever come across. What do you do?
And so you're talking a lot earlier about all of that kind of pastoral care, the birthday cards and anniversaries and all of that stuff. Tell me a little bit more about that. How does that kind of fit in? We have
a record. So generally in my diary or one of our diaries, everybody's birthdays are in there. And then, these coffees and get-togethers that we try and do, you pick up on conversations, right? Oh, so-and-so said that's a special birthday coming up, or a special anniversary. So it's about remembering those things, making a little mental note, and then...
You're also doing group coffees and stuff.
We do group coffees. We've had a bingo, a bowling, and we do...
You're listening there.
You've got to be. You've got to be. And you've got to let your hair down and have fun, and so that they can all let their hair down and have fun and enjoy that time. And because a lot of care providers, from what I hear from my staff, is that nobody else does that. Christmas is a key. We always do Christmas. There was a month when there's lots of March, April birthdays. We had a meal for the birthdays and stuff. So it's just finding little things that we do a lot of community activities with clients, and we get the carers involved, so it's fun. Like we did a pancake flip thing.
Yes.
I mean, I had more fun than anybody else there, I think. But
the radio came along to that.
Yeah, Oxford Radio. So that was really good hit. And the clients really enjoyed it. I had we especially picked up a couple of clients because they said, well, I don't actually have a visit, but I'd really love to come to this. And
great.
And he was holding his walker in one hand and flipping with the other hand. And he beat me.
Very nice.
So,
but I think that's so interesting because, Neil Eastwood often talks about how you recognize care workers, and that recognition piece is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
So whether that is saying thank you to them, or happy birthday to them, or just well done for getting out of a hole.
Yeah.
And I think that seems to be really relevant in what you're talking about.
Yeah. The thank you is really important. These people, everyone needs to feel like I want to feel valued. You know, people need to feel valued and appreciated.
Yeah.
Because they'll go that extra mile, and obviously, continuity is really important for clients and for carers, and they get to understand, where there's a change or somebody's not right. They're the carers that go to clients regularly are the ones that pick up there's something not right.
Yeah.
And it's usually an infection, UTI. They're a bit confused. Yeah. They pick those sort of things up a lot quicker than anybody else. I just now this last week, with a client, a carer said he's not right. She's a regular carer. He's not right. The family were away. We put in extra care. Contact the GP, and they said, oh no, it's fine. He's 98 years old and they can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the son also, took him to the doctors again and said there's something not right. And now he's in hospital, confused with the infection, and he's on lots of antibiotics and stuff. And, and if they had picked up from the beginning, he would have, he'd had 24 hours without a bed in the waiting. It's just not on.
Yeah. And I think, you are part of the change that is happening within the sector. When you're talking about things like what's going to be happening at the WAGS panel later on that you're talking about, you are part of that next generation of care providers that are looking at data, looking at people and disc profiling and all of that stuff that I know that you do, and thinking about who it is that you're hiring. Are they the right person? Values recruitment.
Yeah.
And really learning. And I think the wonderful thing that you've been able to adopt is this, you have no ego within operating your business. And, that has been one of the things that I, from afar, have seen that has helped you kind of grow.
Yeah.
Because you've kind of come in without having any knowledge of the sector and multiple times built £1 million plus businesses in the private market, which is just phenomenal, right?
Yeah, and it's finding the right people in your team. You need the right people. So, we've got...
You've got a sniff test for that as well?
Well, you've got the care staff. You can put them on qualifications. It's all about career progression. And then they develop into other roles. So, I've got people in my internal in the office. Somebody who came on as a care staff is now pretty much a care manager doing a level 5.
Wow.
Got another one who came on as a carer. She's done a qualification. She's the coordinator. We've got two people who've done a level 3. We've got somebody who's gone through all of the channels, not from a care background, now setting up her own business.
Which is just phenomenal.
So
and actually, that progression, you're so right. So if you were talking to somebody, and usually I end these things with asking the guests for one actionable piece of advice. I know that you've got so many different things. On the retention thing, you're a natural person building businesses. What is that one piece of advice, actionable piece of advice that somebody could do today, whether it's within the sector or outside of the sector, to build their business?
Is to listen. Listen,
nice.
Listen.
Fantastic. Nice work, Kam. Thank you very much for joining in. Thanks for coming and tuning in to another episode of Walking with Walfinch. Today we had Kam Gill, who's a natural business builder and has been a phenomenal support to myself within my entrepreneurial journey, and has really cultivated pathways for so many care workers and people in the sector.